Welcome back to Not Rockstars. I'm Daniel Hamill, and this is a breakdown of the new trailer we just got for part 1 of the final season of Beastars, including the confirmed release date of December 5th. Now I'm going to go frame by frame and break down every little bit and piece of the new season that they've revealed in the final trailer, including some seeming rewrites they've done for some scenes that have not appeared in the manga. So let's get to it. So first we open on a shot of two characters riding motorcycles across a bridge, a horse, and a character we don't get a really good look at yet. These characters are Yahya, the horse, and Gosha, the Komodo dragon, new characters to this season, though we have been introduced to Gosha well before now in the manga. Yahya is the Sublime Beastar, or Valiant Beastar, it's Sublime if you've read the fan translations, sitting atop society as sort of an all-powerful police officer and fighter for justice. Sort of a government-appointed Batman. In Season 1, it was explained that the Beastars are chosen as the top students from various schools, as talented beasts who break down the barriers in society. So there must be a few of them drifting around, but there is only one Valiant Beastar. Yahya says, "Back then, I really believed that my partner filled the gaps in my 350-degree vision." And we see him flick an award to Gosha on the other bike. In the manga, Gosha and Yahya are in competition to become Beastars, but they are best friends and don't want to compete. Yahya wanted them to become Beastars together. They ride away on a single motorcycle and throw their awards away as they go. Now, all of these scenes take place in the far past when Yahya and Gosha are in their teens. Gosha is 17 and Yahya is 15. In the present day, Yahya is 51, so this is all taking place a long time ago. Over a shot of Yahya and Gosha overlooking the city, Yahya continues, "Back then, I never wanted to be a Beastar. I wanted to be Beastars." This same scene happens in the manga with them sitting together while Yahya is pondering this. Yahya complains about the blind spot in his 350-degree vision and how Gosha filled that gap. In the manga, we're given a scene where Gosha protects Yahya's back while they're fighting in their youth. Next, we're shown the inside of a building which is probably Legosi's new digs at the Beast Condo, or the Hidden Condo if you've read the fan translations. This is an old rundown building near the black market that animals a little down on their luck typically end up at because it's cheap. We see a quick shot of Legosi and one of his new neighbors, Seven, or Sebun in the fan translations. Sebun is one of Legosi's new neighbors in the apartment building and is a merino sheep. We then get a quick scene of Legosi fighting with his instincts, probably in the scene where he's going through meat withdrawal in his apartment, and Sebun comes to find him to find out what's wrong. We then see a shot of another of Legosi's neighbors, Sagwan, the spotted seal. Over these scenes, someone is saying, "A wolf with a previous charge of meat consumption has enlisted. Is that you?" Possibly Sagwan asking Legosi about it, a reference to Legosi's criminal record after eating Louis' foot at the end of Season 2. The next bumper reads, "Legosi left the academy." This is a reference to him dropping out of school after his fight with Riz at the end of Season 2. Over this is Legosi saying, "My goal is to work hard and build a happy family with Haru the rabbit," with scenes of Legosi at his new job delivering noodles and a couple of shots of Haru. In the manga, Legosi gets a job at a noodle restaurant called Udon Bebebe, and sometimes he's tasked with delivering noodles for the customers, which is where he first meets Sagwan. Next is two quick shots of Louis. We get a fast scene of him with his prosthetic leg that we saw in the teaser a little while ago, and one in his graduation cap. The next bumper reads, "The three choosing different paths," referring to Legosi, Haru, and Louis, all going on with their lives and moving in different directions. They remain the main characters of the show, and they are still deeply intertwined, but they are all on different paths to their destinations. The voiceover then says, "That's something I can never accept, not as long as I'm a Beastar." And we see a scene of Louis reflected in Legosi's red eyes fighting his instinct, and a dreamlike image of Legosi's teeth digging into Louis' foot, followed by Yahya silhouetted in a doorway, then a close-up of his face. This is likely going to be the scene where Legosi gets invited to meet the Beastar after fighting some drug dealers who are trying to get carnivores addicted to meat by selling meat disguised as an energy drink. The next scene is one of the first indications of a rewrite. We have a slow-motion shot of Louis kicking a lion off his feet and pinning him to the ground, then holding up an energy drink and asking, "Meat withdrawal symptoms, is this why?" The bumper here says, "Rising cases of devouring." Now in the manga, a couple of carnivore bullies start to hassle Louis, and he knocks one of them down using some skills that Ibuki had given him while he was leading the Shishigumi. Following this, we get a shot of some of the Shishigumi lions, Agata on the left, Dope on the right, and Free knocked down and bleeding with a knife to his face, and our first glimpse of the new antagonist, Melon. He introduces himself saying, "My name is Melon," and we see the silhouette of a gazelle wearing a surgical mask. This appears to be a new scene. In the manga, Melon injures both Agata and Dolph of the Shishigumi at different times, but not Free, in this way at least. The next bumper reads, "Melon, toxicity in motion," and as he continues to say, "You'd better remember it," you see Melon in a mask holding a knife to Legoshi's face. This is another indication of some rewriting, because in the manga, Melon never threatens Legoshi in the mask with the knife. This is followed by Yahya abseiling in through a skylight, another scene that seems to be completely new for the anime. We see a scene of Melon standing on the beach, which fades to black as Melon says, "I just want to have a little chat with you. You're not a pure-blooded wolf either, are you?" Followed by a scene of Legoshi bleeding from a wound to his ear. Our very first clue to both Legoshi's history and our new antagonist, Melon. Now, I'm not going to give any big spoilers here about Legoshi or Melon, but here is where we learn that they may both be hybrid animals. In the manga, by now we already know of Legoshi's family history, but none of it has been revealed in the anime yet. This is followed by a quick scene of Legoshi running in the dark, followed by the scene from the teaser where Jack is being applauded in front of an auditorium segregated along carnivore and herbivore lines, and then a new shot of the drama club also segregated along the same lines with Bill and Else, leading the group after Louis' graduation. After that, we get a little bit of Legoshi chatting with Sagwan. Sagwan is explaining life in the sea, saying, "In ocean, eat or be eaten, an ordinary life," with Legoshi asking, "Why is it so hard to maintain interspecies ties?" In the manga, when they meet, Sagwan explains that in the sea, animals eat and are eaten, and it's all part of the flow of life, showing how different the philosophies are between the land and the ocean. Legoshi has some difficulty accepting it, since devouring is seen as the ultimate taboo for carnivores on land. Next, we see the same scene of Louis with the vial of hairs from Ibuki's mane that we got in the teaser, followed by a new scene of what looks like Pina leaving the drama club, another scene that doesn't seem to have a parallel in the manga. Next is Haru standing by a fountain behind some moving water, which may be part of the scene in the manga where she has lunch with some rabbit friends, one of whom is dating a lion, and she immediately thinks of her relationship with Legoshi and how difficult it is. We then see Seven asking Legoshi if he thinks this is helping her. It seems like this is the scene from the manga where Seven takes Legoshi to a shoe store to do some market research. She works for a sportswear company and wants Legoshi's opinion. While they're there, Seven's co-workers come in and kind of hassle her, and Legoshi gets them to back off just because he's a big carnivore and intimidates them. Seven's not all that thrilled to be saved by a teenager. Next, we see Legoshi sitting in the dark, followed by Louis and Juno kissing after Louis' graduation. The relationship between Louis and Juno really builds through the second half of the manga, but the kiss happens almost immediately after the events of the fight against Riz and Legoshi eating Louis' leg. We then see Louis in an intimate embrace with another red deer, looking angry. This is a scene from the manga where Louis has a tryst with his fiancée. It was referenced in Season 1 that Louis had an arranged marriage planned out for him by his family. In the manga, he struggles to make love to her while he's thinking about the carnivores that mean so much to him in his life, like Legoshi, Ibuki, and now Juno. Over this, we hear "all lives are equally fragile," which is a line delivered by Yahya in the manga. We get a quick shot of Gohin, and then Louis grabbing Legoshi's face while he's in his noodle shop uniform. This scene looks a lot like the scene between Louis and Legoshi in the manga, when Legoshi ends up in the hospital after fighting the drug dealers, and Louis tracks him down. They have a heart-to-heart, their first talk since the fight with Riz, where Legoshi ate Louis' leg, and then disappeared from school. Louis seems aggressive here, but he's trying to get Legoshi to smile and accept himself as a carnivore who loves herbivores. The voiceover line continues, "Defending those fragile lives is my job." Under that, we get a scene of Seven and Legoshi sharing a drink on a bench, then Legoshi in a bloody fight, possibly the fight against the drug dealers, and it ends with Yahya against the night sky. He continues, "A Beastar should be able to get to the root of this problem, right?" Under this, we have a shot of Gosha leaping down to attack a bird. This is a great scene from the manga where Legoshi and Gosha are eating at a restaurant and get harassed by a group of birds who taunt the venomous lizard. They then try to attack Gosha and Legoshi in a dark alley afterwards, only to find out that neither of their targets are pushovers. Then a scene of Juno crying and holding up a camera, which appears to be new and not related to anything in the manga, followed by Louis sitting in a restaurant and Yahya sitting in his office. Next, we have a scene of some noodles and Legoshi's boss, Tsunaga the Owl, saying, "If you eat good food together, anyone can be happy," and Legoshi looking pleased in his noodle shop uniform. After that, we get our first good look at Gosha. The shot of his hand moving across the pictures of Legoshi was in the teaser, but the shot of his head turning is brand new. We can hear Gosha saying, "You're not like me. You're capable of giving flowers to another." This is said over a scene of Legoshi laying a small vase of flowers on a grave marked Liano. This is also a new scene. We know in the manga that Liano is Legoshi's mother's name, but we never visit her grave in the manga. Following this is Yahya up close saying, "Traitor." Here he is addressing Gosha, who he feels abandoned him in their youth in order to start a family instead of being crime-fighting vigilantes. Yahya has planned for so long for them to be Beastars together and feels abandoned by his best friend. The next bumper reads, "A family's untold truth," referring to Legoshi's history and relationships, and who may be winding their way back into his life. Next we hear Haru saying, "This isn't about herbivore or carnivore, it's a special act between the two of us." Beneath that we see Haru's hand holding Legoshi's big fingers through a gate, and then Legoshi and Haru holding each other's hands surrounded by rabbits in a butcher case. This is a scene from the manga where Haru visits Legoshi on his 18th birthday, and at the end of the date demands that he take her to the black market to see what it's all about. In the end, they visit the rabbit butcher. Haru feels like she understands her carnivore boyfriend a little better. The next card says, "And what's born from love," which is a reference to both the love between Haru and Legoshi, but also a reference to Legoshi being a product of love from his family history. We then see Legoshi and Haru just about to kiss, cut off by the title card of Beastars Final Season. This scene is lifted straight from the manga, but the kiss never quite happens. Our last scene is of Legoshi howling at the moon by his mother's grave, an entirely new scene. There is one scene of Legoshi howling in the manga after he returns to school to hide out after a fight with Melon, and he howls for his oldest friend, Jack. After that, we get our release date of December 5th. Now, there's still no indication of how many episodes Part 1 is going to be, or when we're going to be seeing Part 2, but these little clues they've given us indicate that they have done some rewriting in order to tighten up the story a little bit, and give us a tantalizing look at some of the new characters we're going to meet as Legoshi's circle of friends grows and expands, and he comes into conflict with some more dangerous beasts. Comment down below with what you're looking forward to in the new season of Beastars. You can find me on Blue Sky at The D Hamill. Apologies to Erik and Jessica at New Rockstars, I'm a big fan, and we'll see you next time. Bye.